Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the one and only Ray the Flying Squirrel here, and I'm Mighty the Armadillo here, and I'm Pac-Man here. We are back for yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, as always. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of the Simpsons Hit and Run for the Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC. But before we get into more details about that, let's get started with the forms of another street race right there, while talk to Nelson and stuff like that. So hopefully we can able to guarantee we're most able to actually get something out of it. So yeah, last time we have basically managed able to wrap things up everything in these story missions in level 5. So
hello, little hoodlum. What is causing you to be standing here now?
I'm supervising a bonus race, do-rag.
And hopefully during the forms of today, that hopefully we can able to wrap things up everything in level 5 by going for the forms of, well, what else? The actual street race. So, well, I have no idea what specific street races we've got left, because it has been about 2 days ago since we've last played the Simpsons Hit and Run, because obviously since about the fact that recently Maxi has finally gone back into Kirby and the Forgotten Land, because by that time it's during the forms of this week, that hopefully he will able to actually finish up everything in terms of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So we can pretty much expect about the fact that hopefully we'll do some more Kirby Let's Plays in the future. And does that usually count as going around the track or something? Oh, wait a second, I think I'm on the reverse, aren't I? Yeah, it feels like I've lost instantly, so because of that though, I've no idea why I just ended up going to the left instead of just right. So, let's try this again, shall we? But, hopefully this particular circuit race might not be too drastically difficult, or anything else to be more specific, but I think some people might seem to say this is one of the trickiest, let's just say the forms of the circuit race, kinds of missions. But, relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that it might actually took some bit of practice, especially noticeable if you dare crash once, then you're obviously going to be a little bit behind. So, let's try this for the 3rd time in a row, or 3rd time's the charm, I should say. So, I just really like the fact that when he says like, "What a loser!" and stuff like that. So, because obviously he's almost like a bully more than anything else, especially noticeable after the events of Bart the Genius episode. So, yeah, at least as far as I can usually tell from the forms of that particular standpoint, it's worth noting for. But anyway, so a few things we want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 25th of May today, in this case in 2022 today. So, honors to the forms of the 10th anniversary of the release of Mario Tennis Open for the Nintendo 3DS, to be more specifically in European/UK countries. So, yeah, I can't believe that Mario Tennis Open in the UK version just somehow managed able to came out 10 years ago, which is pretty crazy if you say so for yourself. Especially noticeable, it kind of feels like, you know, time flies all of a sudden. Like, after all, during the forms of about 10 days ago, that obviously Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 also gets its 10th anniversary treatment as well, which I suppose we forgot to mention about that. Well, technically we already did, at least ever since during the course of the wrap-up for the forms of in the 4th level. Thanks to the forms of myself, Pac-Man of course, so yeah, because you're obviously doing pretty well during that time, so yeah, because it seems very obvious, Mighty, because I am the king when it comes to likely for video game mascots, especially noticeable with like, well, before Mario was a thing of course, but I digress. So, and there's also short things worth noting for is the fact that I believe we've only got about tomorrow actually, after this video has been uploaded, that basically My Little Pony Make Your Mark, a Netflix special film or something like that, like a special kind of thing, that basically is going to be up on Netflix tomorrow. So either way though, very excited about this, especially noticeable because obviously, although the animation and the budget for the actual Make Your Mark might actually felt a little bit lower in comparison to the movie, but that's okay because, again, like we said this countless amount of times already, that the actual special itself, when it comes to its presentation and stuff like that, does look very, very similar to the movie, except it's on the low budget. So, But that's okay, because either way though, it's just the actual series, of course, that's going to be exclusive to Netflix in the future. To be more specifically though, Pac-Man is going to be on September, of course, so yeah, you probably get the idea about that, Ray. You probably get the total suggestion about that point, so anyways, let's go ahead and just, you know, go for this little ginormous curve while trying to avoid the actual, the fences and all the other jazz, so, and hopefully I should able to win the race for good, so, by simply able to go straight forward, and boom.
You did better than the American drivers.
I am American.
Sure you are. That's great.
Thank you all for coming.
Okay, so it looks like I've only got 2 more races to go. Yeah, I think for the most part, because I've somehow lost my attention to the forms of that particular street races accomplishments there. So in this case though, I've somehow managed to complete one of them, so that's okay by me. So, oh, and also during the forms of in on Monday, that it seems that despite the fact that it has a lot of jump cuts during the forms of in the last video, yeah, it's pretty obvious because Ray has a lot of frustration with the forms of Don't Trust Snake mission, because it seems very obvious with all that, you know, collectathon garbage and all that jazz, and also the time limit does not increase every time you're able to, you know what I'm saying, because some people might seem to say that can't trust Snake, that that particular mission is one of the hardest missions in level 5. Yeah, just because of the forms of how the fact that you have to collect so many garbages out there. Especially noticeable, you have to wander around in that giant world of any sort. Well, at least that seems okay-ish, I guess, but either way though, it's nothing right to home about, I guess, but anywho, so let's just go ahead and find another street race. So in this case though, we found another one, which it appears to be, well, specifically Ralph. So either way though, let's talk to him. So, but before I do that, I'll grab some more coins just in case until the next level coming up, such as level 6. So, anywho.
Hey, aren't you the boy who nearly drowned in the nacho cheese?
I was in the newspaper.
Alright, so here we go with another checkpoint race. So, oh boy, this is where things get a bit tricky and difficult these days. Especially noticeable because, well, pretty obvious that the AI is going to get way ahead of you. So because of that, you need to learn a lot of emphasis on shortcuts and all that. Because, well, if you keep on taking a normal route as much as you can, then basically though is the fact that you will lose and you will slow down if you somehow manage to accidentally get, you know, trapped inside any forms of a lamppost, and you probably know the suggestions. And also, if you don't know the layout very well, then you're more likely gonna get crashed a lot. So, definitely one of the trickier checkpoint races in Fury, despite the fact that, well, relatively speaking, it looks like Ray is actually doing not that great on the first attempt. So, yeah, because just like the forms of how it does on, oh god, so close. I can able to actually give myself a good old boost. So in this case, though, I should able to actually take the lead. But apparently, though, that I think for that particular driver in that car, which appears to be by the forms of Bart Simpson, because that might be the hint for the next level coming up at some point in this Friday. So, yeah, because relatively speaking, though, we're actually getting very, very close towards the end of this Let's Play. Mind you, about the fact that after we're done with the forms of in level 6, I must be honest here, although we'll probably talk more details about that if we get into on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday from now on. So, well, to be more specifically, like this Friday and next Monday and Tuesday. So, well, it seems to be more specifically I've lost. Oh, for the love of God. I apologize for that particular jump cut right there, because this particular checkpoint race did took me about, I would say 10 attempts. Just because of how the fact that, well, it's bad enough that the rubber banding AI can really get very aggressive every once in a while. But relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that you have to deal with a lot of emphasis on drifting most of your time. And on top of all that stuff though, it's just the fact that there's going to be a lot of obstacles in your way. Especially noticeable for trees, as well as, you know, street lamps. And not to mention though, is the fact that you're going to have to put up with the forms of some very, very stingy corners you have to drift along into. So because of that though, definitely one of the trickier checkpoint races in Fury, just because, well, it's nowhere near as hard as the, well, level 3, that's for sure, because still, Level 3 one is definitely one of the hardest in terms of the forms of those checkpoint races, but it bears repeating because obviously that's why pointing out yet again, just for the sake of how the fact that you know how Mighty did manage to got himself his very rough moment's notice. Oh Jesus Louise, Bart is actually really trying to catch up right there. But hopefully I should able to make it to the finish line before he does, so best of luck for you, Ray. Yeah, it looks like I'm doing not too shabby right here. I mean, surely that sometimes though that he will easily decide able to catch me up if I can. But regardless of such though, I think I win.
You look pretty good out there. Is there a Mrs. Nahasapasapata whatever?
Oh, thank the gods there is.
Alright, so hopefully we're able to do one more street race, which appears to be the time trials, so we can able to expect that we'll get ourselves another car. So yeah, it looks like we are getting there, folks. Well, mind you, about the fact the matter is though, it's just the fact that, well, honestly, there's not much else to say, honestly. So it's just that, oh jeez, that truck is like, well, or should I say, the actual lorry or van or whatever. I think it appears to be like a lorry actually, because I can't really tell with the actual, the shaping of, did it just clip through that, lorry? Huh, how weird is that? So anyway though, another thing we want to point things out is the fact that, well, obviously we've only got about 2 more days to go until My Little Pony and Maritime Bay Adventure will be releasing on multiple platforms, which, you know, we don't feel like talking about the multi-platform kind of stuff again because you probably already know. Especially noticeable after when you've went into the Nintendo eShop as well as the forms of the PlayStation Network Store, and especially noticeable with the forms of the Xbox Marketplace. So, or to be more specifically with all that every now and then the Microsoft Store, because, well, every once in a while though things has been changed from the likes in the future years to come than the forms of how it does it on the past. So I can see that little collectible card up there, but here's the thing, I have no idea how do I supposed to get up there. And it looks like one of my vehicles is actually going to be turning into smoking, so I'm going to have to able to figure this out, able to actually just try to get not only the wrench, but also with the forms of the, well, specifically multitude of stuff, so in fact, let me just go ahead and quickly hit into this particular spot. So hopefully, I'm also able to find, is this the way I was supposed to go? Although, potentially speaking, because, again, it's been about 2 days ago since we've last played this, because, you know, with the forms of the uploading schedules has been altered slightly, so because, you know what I mean, Maxie needs to hopefully finishing up with Kirby and the Forgotten Land before he dives right into the forms of Super Mario 3D All-Stars in Super Mario Sunshine. So, there it is right here.
Hello, little customer. Are you here to help me in some fashion?
Your nachos have hair in them.
The hair is your protein.
Okay. Well, you have to race now.
Alright, here we go onto the time trial. So hopefully we won't be having that much issues there. So,
Drive!
or in this case, he's now saying drive as opposed to go. So, a little bit different for a change, but hey, at least it's something, I guess. So, and I do apologize for that particular graphical, well, let's just say a capture card glitch again. Seriously, we need to able to fix that at some point, especially noticeable. We're always having issues like this recently. So, because of that though, if we decide able to actually decide to do more Let's Plays in the future based off from 1080p quality, although it's not so bad on emulators like Game Boy emulators and all that stuff, but for some reason, whenever we try to do it with any forms of other game consoles in particular, that it always keeps on coming across into the forms of that very, very weird capture card glitch. So that seems very underwhelming to able to look at. So anyways though, as you can see, that ever since in level 1, basically that it looks like you know, we have to go around the track within 5 laps. But the only difficult part of this time is the fact that they now started adding in some holes to avoid. So, but again, you're gonna have to avoid the collusion, because if you get into so many collusions, then you're probably gonna fail the mission. So because of this though, I found this particular street race or this time trial really easy too.
Okay, Apu, you've qualified for your license. Big deal. You still work at a convenience store.
And from here, we get ourselves the El Carro, logo. So, yeah, pretty swell. So it looks like you're almost done with level 5, potentially speaking though, Ray. So it looks like, let's see on our level of progress here. In fact, let me just quickly go to warp to mission 7 quickly, so that way I can easily traverse in here, because I get the strong sense of feeling. Actually, is this like, okay, so 78.1% done. So it looks like we only got one more vehicle left and 2 more wasp cameras left to find. So, oh, and also one more level gag in here. So hopefully I'll try to figure this out at some point. So, but first things first though, let me just go ahead and pick any of those cars in particular, such as, let's just go for, yeah, car built for Homer, because, you know, this vehicle is so satisfying to drive. So, and I'm pretty sure that every single playable characters between forms have been Homer and Bart Simpson and Lisa Simpson and even Marge Simpson and even Apu, as you probably already know, that I'm pretty sure you can now able to use this car from any past levels. So, I guess that's that. So, which I suppose we forgot to mention about this, because obviously we got so much distractions with the forms of some news, updates, or anything else alike, so that might be back of a question throughout. So anyway, so let's just go ahead and drive through here, because I get this strong sense of feeling there might be a bonus mission. So hopefully I'll try to do that, and then hopefully I'll do some final few bits and bobs within level 5, and then that'll be good to go for the most part.
Excuse me, nice Mr. Shopkeeper person. Have you seen a hovering death machine?
No, nothing specifically of the hovering kind, no.
Oh, this was to be my greatest invention since sideburns in a can. They make you handsome and lovely.
What are you talking about?
I call it the hover car, TM. So don't try to steal the name, it's TM'd. I installed the onboard computer, and it came alive and attacked my person. For the love of all that's gliding, you gotta help me here.
Okay, what on earth can I do?
Knock the fleshriggin' thing off the road before the authorities come and take me away again. Prisons ain't kind to pencil-neck geeks like myself. They stomp and they kick.
Okay, so the bonus mission on level 5 is the fact that we need to able to find a hover car, and we somehow need to destroy it, or to be more specifically, disable the hover car. So, yeah, another one of those damaged vehicles types of missions like this. But here's the thing though, is the fact that ever since during the course of in level 4, from the likes of the forms of that particular checkpoint race, as you probably already know, that the hover car is pretty fast. Well, I would say a lot more faster than any other vehicles for this matter, but regardless of such though, that he will easily just manage able to get a massive boost from here, so we can able to expect that everything else will be turned out or anything else like specific. So nor do I'm speaking like that for some reason, because honestly guys, I think that's as far as I can talk about for the sake of the forms of today's discussion, although apart from the fact that, well, we're getting pretty close towards the end of May before we move on to June. Oh wow, that was actually a bit of a damage right there for that particular hover car. So, I appreciate about that stuff though, despite he somehow managed to avoid my, you know, a bit of a, driving forward straight or ram into him, but either way though, it knows what it is when it comes to AI these days. But either way though, let's... Oh wow, that's actually a really good damage right there. So hopefully I should able to actually finish this mission up within a quicker ease with noting for, and of course thankfully that with the forms of those AI cars to able to destroy, thankfully they don't carry those wretches though, because that would be very unfair if they managed able to grab the wretches before we do. So alright, so I'm almost there. Boom, there he goes. So now I need to go back into the Java server to able to talk to Professor Frank again. So hopefully, I think we're also able to get our another vehicle that we can able to interact with the hover car. Kind of think about it. So either way though, let's just go ahead and try to avoid a lot of traffic here and there, just in case if we don't take that much damage off car built for Homer and all that stuff. But yeah, that's just pretty much as far as we can able to try and discuss upon, honestly. So alright, it's good. I have to go for a lot of few corners there, and don't worry, we'll be back for oh darn it all, the hit and run. And then to make matters worse, that stupid little lorry thing right there just somehow managed able to stop me somehow, which ultimately gives me a busted all the way through. That's very unfair with all that vehicles just somehow showed up out of nowhere. But hey, at least we'll grab the reg, and hopefully we should be safe and sound from here on. So, yeah, after taking care of the forms of that particular, well, a lot of destruction and stuff. Oh, I can see a wasp camera there. But first things first though, let's talk to Professor Frank first before we do anything.
Great work, my Hindu friend.
Do not patronize my faith, okay?
Sorry, terribly sorry. Look, if you need a ride, instant message my Cortex. By which I mean, call me.
Okay, out of nowhere, since we've completed the bonus mission, and out of nowhere, the wasp camera just somehow showed up before we had trying to ambush me, and we might able to consider able to obtain it. So, okay, I guess I'll take it, I guess. Even though this is not supposed to meant to happen though, per se. But regardless of such though, we did manage to able to dish down one of those wasp cameras here and there. So I believe we've only got one more wasp camera left. So yeah, let's have a look at the level progression there. 93.7% done. So after all, we've done everything except collector cards, as well as the one last wasp camera, and of course the last level gag. So let's head back to mission 7 quickly, because I'm pretty sure that there's only one in particular level gag I was missing on, and that's what appears to be Buddy Foams of somewhere at the Moe's bar. So we'll quickly pop in around there quickly, just to ensure. Yeah, because obviously you don't want to miss things out, don't you? Yeah, after all, that's this is 100% completion still, so because of that though, still doing very well. So in this case though, it shouldn't take that that long as far as that's been concerned. So anyways, let's dress up as P-Sharps when it comes to Apu, because after all, we've been using the previous costume for a very long while, just because of the forms of that particular mandatory mission you're gonna have to go through in terms of the story missions. So yeah, I guess that's very understandable. So, but there we go, all 6 level gags has been activated. So again, it's not much, because like we said before, there's only 6 level gags as opposed to the forms of so many of them from the likes of the previous levels, including 2 upcoming levels. So yeah, that seems a little bit more understandable to say the least. So anyway, so now I just need to able to get to this ramp, and oh, I didn't make it. Oh well. No big deal, but at the very least I can able to try it again. Do you know, there was actually an alternative way you can get up there. Oh, why is that exactly? Well, if you do realize that you will... What the heck? I'm stuck! I'm stuck! Get out of here! Come on, get out! I'm literally stuck! Help! Help me! I have no control over it! Oh my god, that was so weird. That's, I somehow managed to let the car get into the actual wall. What is this, like Mario Kart 8 anti-gravity segment? And I somehow did not realize there was an elevator right there that we can able to actually take an alternative way. Ah, so that's what you're trying to say there, Pac-Man. Yes, because I am a genius. Oh, hey, genius, it was my idea to able to go there in the first place. Well, yeah, well, I pulled it off. Well, let's just say... Ah, dang it. Sometimes my platforming skills wasn't exactly the greatest, but either way though, thankfully at least I was able to take another try, or another attempt or 2. So that is the way we can able to actually get the collector card from that particular, well, let's just say like a scaffolding kind of construction bit. So, in fact, kind of thinking about it, this bit does remind me of the forms of one of those levels in, let's just say, what do you call it? Oh, Construction Yard from the likes of the forms of in Toy Story 2, the video game. So, at least as far as I'm guessing correctly, although I may be wrong. But anyways, let's go on to mission select here, and able to choose the next mission that we can able to revisit into. Well, mind you, thankfully you don't need to deal with those again, because obviously that we've already done a lot of frustration here and there, including you, Snake. Like, seriously, whoever thought grabbing garbage was a good idea? But anyway, so let's just go and obtain the Longhorn car, so just in case we can able to drive around on certain spots. And exponentially, we'll try to find the last collector card. And after that, though, we can pretty much guarantee we're most able to find the very last wasp camera in the forms of in level 5. So let's go in here. Is this the way? No, it doesn't seem like it, because all it does is it takes you to the alternative way for that specific big jump to able to make a leaps of faith for. But it's nothing worth it, honestly. So in this case, though, what's the point of going up there from the get-go? Anyway, so is this the right way? I have to take a massive guesswork on this. I mean, surely I'm almost there, so... Oh, okay, so honestly have no words to think about it. Oh wait, that's a wrench. As far as I'm guessing correctly? Although, mind you, because I haven't paid attention to that particular motion and stuff like that. So, let's go this way. I hope you know what you're doing, Ray. I'm sure I can able to get accustomed to, so... Booyah! We have got it, and sure enough, we've got all of the level cards. So, only one thing left to do is, of course, trying to find the very last wasp camera. So, 99.4% done. So... In fact, let me just quickly go into mission 1 quickly, if I recall correctly, because I get the strong sense of feeling that with that particular police station, that, in fact, let me have a look at the map, so just in case I can able to know exactly where that is, so hold on a second. Okay, so I found out for the actual research of the actual map, turns out the police station does manage to able to have the wasp camera somewhere not in here, but on the other side. So yeah, because that was the only segment you haven't exactly explored yet. So unlike in well, let's just say level 2, where you can able to actually pop over to see Ralph. So in fact, there it is right here with some coins, and there it is just right over here. So there we go. All the wasp cameras has been destroyed in level 5. So with that being said, we basically 100% everything in terms of, what else? Level 5. So, yeah, I believe we've only got about 2 more levels left until we're basically done with the forms of the entire game. So, and of course, before we end things off, we need to have a look at certain cards we've collected. So, in this case, though, let's start from here. In this case, we have Apu's t-shirt, and this is from Lisa, the vegetarian. So... basically, because I think I saw clips of it, where basically when Homer just goes like, here you go, at Bart, when, well, you probably already know what we're talking about. So, alright, Pin Pal's shirt, and this is from Team Homer. Never actually watched this episode before, but we'll be meaning to get around to it at some point, but not now, though, anyway. Prop 24 sign, and this is from Much Apu About Nothing. So, never heard of that episode, but been meaning to able to try and watch that at some point. But anywho, so next we have is the Baby Feeder, and this is from 8 Misbehaving. So, never heard of that episode before, but I'm sure it's something, alright. And next up we have is Ganesh costume, and this is from the 2 Mrs. I can't speak today because I got myself tongue twisting. It's kind of hard to tell what that means though, because, well, it's been 2 days ago, so... Alright, Chimney Squishy, and this is from the Auto Show. So, I'm not exactly sure what that episode stands for anyway. And finally, we have the hot dog, which basically this comes from Homer and Apu. We definitely watched that episode the other day, where somehow Homer just somehow accidentally ate the expiry date food in a Quickie Mart. So, yeah, stuff like, let's just say a ham, or anything else to be more specifically. Mind you, it's been about a couple of days since we actually last watched that episode, because, well, been busy lately. So, yeah, with that being said, folks, we'll go ahead and end things off at this point right here. So join us next time for more of Let's Play of The Simpsons Hit and Run. Is the fact that we're about to be moving on to probably is the hardest level in the entire game, and this one appears to be level 6. So, and we get the feeling we're about to be taking control of Bart once again. So, that might be interesting. So we'll see you guys until on Friday. Later, fellas. See you guys then.